Welcome to Ease English Podcast.
Okay, real question before we even start. Be honest. When January 1st hit this year, did you actually believe the things you wrote in your New Year's journal?
I don't journal.
Okay, did you believe the things you thought about while scrolling other people's resolution posts at midnight?
Guilty.
Yeah, me too. And honestly, most of it didn't happen the way I planned. But here's the thing, 2025 still taught me more than any plan could have. And I think a lot of you listening right now know exactly what I mean.
Because life doesn't teach you on your schedule. It teaches you on its own schedule, whether you're ready or not.
So today, we're not here to inspire you with a highlight reel. We're here to have an honest conversation about what this year actually taught us. The messy, the real, and yes, also the beautiful.
Before we dive in, if you're someone who's using this podcast to practice your English, good choice. Real conversations like this one, natural pauses, everyday words, real emotions. This is how fluency actually builds. Not from textbooks, from listening to humans talk like humans.
Exactly. So just let it flow. You don't have to catch every word. Sometimes the feeling of a language teaches you more than the grammar. Okay, now let's get into it. Okay, Jimmy, first lesson. And I want to start with a story because this one hit me personally. So earlier this year, I signed up for a public speaking class, which for me was basically signing up for a horror film.
What happened?
First session, I stood up, my mind went completely blank, 30 seconds of silence that felt like 30 years, I sat back down, and I genuinely considered never going back.
But you went back.
I went back, and by session 6, I was actually kind of enjoying it.
That's not a coincidence. There's a concept in psychology called productive discomfort. The idea is that your brain only builds new capability at the edge of what feels comfortable, not inside the comfort zone. Not way outside it in panic territory, right at the edge, that 10% stretch.
The 10% stretch, I like that.
So when something feels uncomfortable, the question to ask yourself isn't, how do I make this stop? It's, is this the kind of discomfort that's building me or breaking me? Those are two very different things.
And 2025 made me actually learn the difference, finally.
Can I share something I'm a little embarrassed about?
Oh, absolutely. This is exactly the kind of content I live for.
I spent the first 4 months of this year genuinely believing that if I wasn't doing something, I was falling behind. No weekends off, working late sometimes, skipping lunch.
Jimmy, we've talked about this.
I know, but I had this idea that productivity was the same as progress. And in April, my body basically said, we're done. I burned out completely.
What happened?
I took a week off, felt guilty for 3 days. Then on day 4, I had the clearest thinking I had all year. Solved a problem that had been stuck for weeks in one morning.
Because the brain consolidates, rests, resets. I read somewhere that the brain actually does its most creative work during low stimulation periods, like walks, showers, sleep.
Rest isn't the absence of progress. Rest is part of the process. The best athletes sleep 9 to 10 hours. The most creative minds take naps. There's no badge for exhaustion.
Write that down, everyone. There is no badge for exhaustion. Small, warm pause.
Unless it's a coffee loyalty card, which I have 6 of.
That's not the same thing. Okay, this one is big, and I think it's the most universal lesson from this year, because 2025, for a lot of people, threw some unexpected things at us, right?
Unexpected job changes, relationships shifting, plans that simply didn't work out.
And the instinct is to fight it, to fix it, to control every outcome. I spent 2 months trying to force a situation that just wasn't meant to work the way I wanted it to.
There's a Stoic idea, Marcus Aurelius wrote about it, the dichotomy of control. Some things are in your power, your choices, your attitude, your response. Other things are simply not in your power, the weather, other people's decisions, outcomes.
And we waste so much energy on the second category.
Exactly. So the shift is from I need to control this to I can only control how I respond to this. That one shift, that is where a lot of peace lives.
It sounds simple. It is so not simple.
No, but it gets easier, like a muscle. The more you practice releasing what you can't hold, the lighter you feel.
And ironically, when I stopped trying to control that situation I mentioned, it actually resolved itself. Not perfectly, but well enough.
Well enough is underrated.
Okay, Jimmy, favorite lesson of the year. Go.
Honestly, small habits. I know, it sounds boring, but hear me out.
Go ahead, Professor Habit.
We love the dramatic transformation story, the person who completely changes their life in 30 days. But real change, real sustainable growth, it's boring. It's 5 minutes of reading before bed. It's 10 minutes of walking. It's writing 3 sentences in a notebook. Done consistently for months.
Because compound interest applies to behavior, not just money.
Exactly. A 1% improvement every day for a year, that's not 365% better. That's 37 times better. The math is almost offensive.
It really is. Like, I started making my bed every morning, and I cannot explain to you why, but it genuinely makes my whole day feel more organized.
Because you start the day with a completed action, a small win, and small wins stack. They build momentum. Your brain starts to see yourself as a person who does things.
Which sounds like the simplest thing, but it's actually identity shifting.
That's exactly what it is.
Last lesson, and I saved this one for last on purpose because I think it's the one we forget the most, especially in a world that keeps celebrating solo hustle and self-made everything.
Connection.
Connection. This year, the moments I grew the most actually grew were because of people. A conversation that cracked something open in my thinking. A friend who said the hard thing I needed to hear. A stranger who was kind when I didn't expect it.
There's a Harvard study, one of the longest studies on happiness ever conducted, over 80 years, and the conclusion was strikingly simple. The people who flourished most were the ones with warm, consistent relationships. Not wealth, not success, relationships.
And yet, we deprioritize people when we get busy.
We do. We say, I'll call them when things slow down, and things never slow down.
So the lesson is, don't wait for slow. Call now, text now, show up now. Be a little awkward, be a little vulnerable. The relationship is worth more than the discomfort.
So, to bring it all together, 2025 taught us that discomfort builds you. Rest isn't the enemy of progress. You can't control everything, and that's actually okay. Small habits are the real revolution. And people, your people, they matter almost anything else.
And none of these are new ideas. Humans have known this stuff for centuries. The hard part, always, is living it. Actually living it.
So as we go into the next year, don't pressure yourself to transform overnight. Just pick one thing, one small thing, and be a little more intentional about it.
That's it. Just one thing. You're already doing better than you think. I promise.
Thanks for spending time with us today.
Until next time, stay curious, be kind, and get some actual rest.
Please.